Michigan farmers have long been at the forefront in sustainable farming. From Michigan Agriculture Environmental Assurance Program verified farms to applying best practices for nitrogen management, producers here in Michigan place a priority on protecting their land and our water and air. Green farming was recently on display at Stony Ridge Farms in Waldron, but that wasn't always the case.
Everything we bring into the farm, we're trying to do it in a complementary manner that meets our goals of growing the farm, of doing so in a way that's sustainable and environmentally responsible. We're big on stewardship. We want to make sure that not just for our family and our future generations, but for those around us, that we're leaving the ground and the water and the air and all these resources we use in a better condition than they were when we started. The biggest change that we've undergone is we've gone from a full tillage, heavy tillage type operation to primarily a no-till cover crop operation, and that change has mostly taken place in the last 10 years. We spent a lot of money going across the field, whether it's heavy tillage passes or trying to beat that all back down again and plant. So we were trying to find a way that we could be better stewards and a way that we could reduce our input costs and reduce our machinery overhead and all those things that come along with heavy tillage. And that's what led us down that path. Overall, I think we're on the right trajectory. We're seeing benefits in our soil tests and our soil health. And as the weather and our commodity prices and our input costs all experience great amounts of variability, I think we'll be able to weather those storms a little easier with the practices that were put in place.
Stony Ridge Farms was the site of a recent nutrient management field day, where Rick Clark of Clark Land and Cattle in northern Indiana was the keynote speaker and spoke about green farming.
Before we were doing that, when we were cutting inputs in half, we were full bore cover crop, all no-till, we were increasing our yields year after year. And our ROIs were, some of them were approaching 100%, which is just unheard of. I mean, you hope you have a positive ROI, let alone 100%. I would say for the most part, we're in that 25 to 35% range across the farm, but you get those certain scenarios like alfalfa. Alfalfa, you got a lot of expense up front because the seed's very expensive. But once you get that seed paid for, the subsequent years, you don't have those same input costs. So the ROI on those fields go way up.
His advice to growers thinking about dipping their toes into green farming: ignore the naysayers and start slow.
Change is good. Please step out of your comfort zone and try something new and try something that's totally different than what you're used to doing. Small acres, do not jeopardize the livelihood of the farm. I'm not here to offend anybody, and I'm not here to say you're doing it wrong. That's not what this is about. Take what I've brought today and start to incorporate it into your current system.
Scott Weldon of Jonesville, Michigan's Weldon Farms was among the dozens of farmers who attended the field day.
You're always trying to constantly learn. You're never too old to stop learning, and so for me it's nice to be able to get ideas, take home perspectives that could apply on my business that maybe other people have already tried, and you can certainly learn from other people's experience. Yeah, don't be afraid of change. I think that was a really good message from the speaker, and I would say sometimes it's awkward or it's painful to experience change, and I think in general in life, not just in farming, we need to embrace and be open to change because sometimes it's going to happen whether we want it to or not.